everyone, Paul Fontaine from Keller Williams here. Today we're talking about all things home inspection wise. Sometimes a dreaded event for first-time home buyers and any kind of home buyer. But fear not, we have one of the best here today, and I'll let Mike introduce himself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Michael McKinney with Two Rivers Inspections.
Super. Well, thank you for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Paul.
We won't keep you too long. I just have a couple questions, and I know, as I said, home inspections can be a bit daunting for buyers. So what would be kind of your number one tip for buyers for going to home inspections?
Well, I think the first thing, especially with the climate today, is showing up at the inspection, especially for first-time home buyers, and follow the inspector around. He's not just there to pick out defects. He's actually there to teach you about the home. You have your list of questions for him. You can go pull up the questions on the internet and ask the inspector as many questions as you can. Right. Talk to your parents, talk to your friends who've been through the home inspection process before and ask them what they experienced.
Sure. Yeah, I always attend inspections. Again, in this new environment with COVID, I haven't been attending as many as I usually do, but typically I will attend, and I always recommend my buyers attend because, yeah, they can walk through with you, ask questions. You can point out certain things and they can see it in person. So when they get the report the next day, they'll know what you're talking about. So I do always recommend that.
Exactly.
So, having said that, so the buyers go to the home inspection, they walk through the property. Usually it takes maybe an hour, hour and a half to do that home inspection. You point out numerous things. You know, any house I've ever sold has problems and has things that need to be repaired, even new construction. So just assume that there's going to be things that need to be repaired. So we go through that, and the next day, typically we get the report written from you about all of the repairs and defects. Sometimes it can be really overwhelming to buyers that they see a list of 38 items that need to be repaired and fixed. And it certainly can freak out some people. What's kind of your thoughts, comments, or advice for buyers? Again, possibly first-time home buyers when they see that list and sometimes are so afraid and not sure they want to buy a house with so many problems.
Yeah, it's very daunting, especially when you see it all in writing. Home inspection reports are written a certain way for negotiation purposes, especially with first-time home buyers. There's not a perfect house in the world. Most home inspections are going to come up with right around $5,000 worth of work that needs to be done anyway. But if they follow the inspector around, they can see exactly what we're talking about. Like a bad outlet could sound really bad on paper, but might only be a $50 fix. Sure. So they got to really be there and listen to the inspector and just ask questions. And at the end, when it's all done and over, get his phone number, email address, ask as many questions even afterwards when you get the report. Understand what he was talking about in paper with the inspector. So,
and your inspection, like most other ones, also tend to break it out into different sections. The first one tends to be major defects. Second one seems to be kind of a safety concern section, and then the third section tends to be miscellaneous repair type items. I typically tell buyers, let's concentrate on the major things, the major defects, the safety concerns. There's always going to be repairs here and there, but in terms of negotiations, working on the major items is priority.
Yeah, and I agree. Safety's majors. The way I do my reports is anything over $500 repair is typically going to be listed as a major item. But safeties could be anything. Anything electrical could just be a cover plate, right, which could be extremely simple to fix. Sure. But safeties are a little different because they get grouped into all kinds of stuff.
So just in general, if there's a potential buyer watching the video or someone that just went under agreement, so why are inspections important? Why do we even need to do them? I've heard 30, 40 years ago, they didn't even do inspections. They just bought a house. So
they didn't. Well, I think the most important thing today is buyers are going into a house, they're in there 15, 20 minutes, and they're really just looking at cosmetic issues. Where are we going to put our sofas? They're looking at cosmetic stuff. During the home inspection, you actually get to spend time in the house. You get to understand the bones of the home and not just the cosmetics of it, the workings of the systems. And it's also about teaching you about that home. Mm-hmm. I view myself as more like a teacher because you're teaching them about the systems, about maintenance of the house. They're getting a chance to learn about what's going on with the roof. Most people don't look at roofs. Right. Especially in Philadelphia, you can't even see your roof. So you get to learn so much more about the house than just being in the home for 15, 20 minutes and looking at a disclosure.
Yeah. That's a great point. You're there to inspect the property, but having been through probably hundreds and hundreds of inspections myself over the past 17, 18 years, it is an education. Even when I'm there, I still learn after all these years, oh, I should check on that filter, or I should install that piece. So it is a great education also. So it's a good point that you're making up.
I have agents tell me that all the time. They learn something new at every inspection they've been to.
Yeah.
So
There's so many aspects and so many homes, and every home's different. So there's definitely opportunities to learn something new. So,
absolutely.
well, I appreciate your time. If you want to just let people know how they can contact you, should they ever need your services.
You can reach me on tworiversinspections.com or by email at tworiversinspections@gmail.com, and also by phone, 609-440-5863.
Super. Well, I appreciate your time. You're a busy man. I'm sure you have inspections today. So thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much, Paul. Have a good day. All right, bye.